Hey everyone, welcome to Advanced League Tips, a series where we focus on the intricacies and complexities of a league champion, what makes them interesting, as well as increasing your skill knowledge with said champion. Today we're going to be focusing on Fiora, and we're going to be focusing on input buffering with her Q, as well as distance dashing with her, and we're also going to be looking at the fast combo recently discovered on her ultimate with Stride Breaker. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is controlling the dash distance on Fiora's Q. So you can see here in the following three examples. In the first example, you can see that if we put our mouse cursor right next to Fiora, she will dash a short distance to the cursor, and then a little bit farther, she'll dash a medium distance, and at or beyond max range, she will dash to the max range that is allowable for her Q. So when it comes to the importance of this mechanic and understanding how it functions, there are three reasons for this. First of all, when it comes to other champions and their dashes, most dashes will automatically put them at max range regardless of their cursor distance. Secondly, when it comes to positioning and dodging skill shots, controlling the distance of your Q is important because let's say you want to dodge vertically, but then your enemy starts walking horizontally. Well, if you dodge at max range, then it will put you too far away from your enemy and then you have to reset. And then thirdly, when it comes to dashing over walls or getting into range of an enemy, making sure you cast at max distance rather within the distance of your Q's cursor will put you at max range for maximum gap closing. Now, the next thing we're going to take a look at is input buffering on Fiora's Q. Now, before we get into what it can do, we're going to get into what it can't do. And with comboing off of Stride Breaker, both the item active and that ability will fire at separate instances, not over top of each other at the same time. So that is something that Fiora's Q cannot input buffer. However, when it comes to her E and her W separately, they can be input buffered off of her Q. So starting with her EQ, you can see here that in the middle of her dash, the animation for her sword activates from her E, and then after the damage from her Q resolves, her next auto attack will proc the first part of E, and then of course her second auto attack will be the automatic crit. Now when it comes to her WQ combo, you want to make sure that you are pressing Q first. W prevents you from casting all other abilities for 0.75 seconds. So when you press Q, the faster you input W in relationship to pressing Q, the faster the ability will buffer with the dash. Now the important thing to note here is that because her W is directional, this direction is based off of the placement of your cursor and not the placement of your last movement command. So you can see here, I dash to the right, but I can still position my W to the left because of the placement of my cursor on the screen. So the final thing we're going to take a look at today is the recently discovered fast combo on Fiora's ultimate that allows you to proc all 4 vitals in under a second. So you are going to need Stride Breaker for this because A, it provides a dash and damage, and B, all of Fiora's vitals are able to proc off of either basic attacks or abilities. So because her Q can proc vitals and Stride Breaker can proc her vitals, this is the key to executing this. So to give a baseline example of how Fiora typically procs her vitals off of her ultimate, it's usually auto Q with her Eves and possibly a flash woven in there. So one thing to keep in mind here is that Fiora's hitbox must be in each quarter of the vital in order for it to proc. So with that kept in mind, as well as the dash distance on her Q, as fluid as possible, we want to go auto dash Stride Breaker and then quickly auto the bottom vital. So looking at that again in slow motion, we approach the left side with an auto attack followed by a Q upwards, Stride Breaker down to the right, and then a very quick auto attack in the hitbox of the bottom vital. And that should proc for you if you do it correctly in under a second. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. Between controlling Fiora's dash distance as well as input buffering and the newly discovered fast combo on her ultimate, there are a lot of stuff that you can add if you're already a Fiora main or you're just picking her up. Don't forget to hit me up on Twitter, as well as for some awesome video game photography, hit me up on Instagram, and as always, we will see each other again tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.